All right, I'm going to go ahead and punch up our stuff full screen so you can see everything a little bit better. Whoops, there you go. Okay, right now you can see you have partly cloudy skies. So not a bad day across the Alamo City. It's just already pretty warm. It is currently 79 degrees at the airport, but it feels a little closer to the low 80s. And your dew points are in the mid 70s, so it's also pretty humid out there. So you can see skies don't look bad. You just have a little bit of cloud cover. Also, we're taking a look at the rest of your temperatures. 80 in Beeville, 74 in Fredericksburg, 75 in San Marcos, already 81 degrees in Hallettsville, currently 85 down there around the course, Port Aransas. So yes, warming up fast. You know, when it's already in the low 80s early on, it's going to be a pretty hot afternoon. Your feel like temperature, I'd like to go ahead and show you this. So it already feels like, again, the low 80s in Pleasanton. Your feel like temperature typically grows farther away from your actual temperature or further away from your actual temperature as the afternoon progresses. So in the morning, they're a little bit closer together, and then that heat index really picks up. 24-hour temperature change. Now in some areas, we're slightly cooler than we were around this time yesterday. Fredericksburg and Rock Springs. The Hill Country was a little cooler this morning. They had, I would say, temps in the low 70s. So that's honestly not too bad to wake up in the low 70s. They had a decent breeze out there around the Hill Country and Rock Springs. So I bet it was a nice morning out there, but it's already feeling pretty muggy for a lot of South Texas. This is a kind of a backtrack of the last 24 hours, what happened with the satellite radar. And you can see we just didn't get any precipitation, just some clouds that moved in, and then they moved out, and then they moved back in this morning. And that's what we're seeing right now. I think these clouds will clear out by mid-morning. Enjoy them while they last because they block the sun from being so intense. You have a little bit of a barrier there, and once that's gone, it just really starts to feel hot. Texas as a whole, a little bit of cloud cover around West Texas as well as around El Paso. You have a little bit of precipitation there. We had a decent storm or two pretty close to that area of Texas earlier, but it panned out pretty quickly. You also have some precip coming up from the Gulf of Mexico along the coast. It's not really getting close to us. In our far eastern counties, you might feel a few sprinkles, but most of that is getting more toward East Texas, and it's also drying out pretty quickly before it develops into anything. Across the country, New Orleans, a warm 85 degrees, 86 in Miami, 81 in Raleigh, 79 in Boston, hot in Boston this morning, 58 in Bismarck, cooler temperatures to the northwest, 71 in Portland, Boise, Idaho, 63, San Francisco, 57, LA currently at 68, and Phoenix, a warm 80 degrees. But hey, we're almost right there with them, right? Corpus Christi currently sitting at 80. Houston already hitting 83. Amarillo 75. Lubbock 75. You know, West Texas is typically drier and breezier, so that's more of a dry heat. So probably a nice morning in West Texas. Eagle Pass 72. Our high yesterday, we did end up hitting 96 degrees. I think today we could easily hit 96, 97 possibly, and the heat index could even be higher today than it was yesterday. Yesterday it felt like the triple digits. Today I think it may even feel like 102, possibly 103 at the airport. Checking out your temperatures right now, I think we already did that, but just here's another look at what's going on across South Texas. Your winds are pretty calm. How about excuse me, bless me, I'm so sorry, excuse me. I don't know if you can bless yourself, but I just did. All right, Pleasanton and Floresville, they're both calm winds out there. Kerrville and Fredericksburg, well, I would say those are 12 to 14 mile per hour winds. So you have a little bit more of a breeze, a sustained wind around Fredericksburg and Kerrville. And I think as far as wind gusts this afternoon, because honestly, on a day like today, it's nice to have some wind when it's so hot. They will pick up. I don't think they'll be quite as strong as they were yesterday, but this is a look at 3:30. You have 17 mile per hour sustained winds at the airport, around 22, 20 in Kerrville, so a little bit breezier there in the Hill Country. And at least that kind of remains consistent throughout the day. So even though it's going to be hot, at least you have some wind. That relative humidity, though, that is staying high. Here's a look at the last 4 hours. It's dropped slightly, but it's still 84% at the airport, 100% relative humidity in Uvalde, in Beeville. Port A is at 84%, Victoria currently at 90%, Gonzales also 100%, Austin 87%. Future heat indices as we move throughout the day today. So this is a look at 10:30, mid-morning, already feeling like 91, already feels like 97 down south around George West. And then it heats right up. Take a look at this. This is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And we're already feeling like 101 possibly at the airport. George West, my goodness, it is going to feel like 107. Today is also an energy conservation day, which means keep your AC at 78. Try to avoid using big appliances during peak hours of the day if you can. And you think, well, how can I turn my AC to 78 when it's so hot outside? But honestly, if you put it on 78 today, the fact that it is going to be so hot, it's going to run pretty continuously. So I don't think it's going to feel terribly uncomfortable. I think people think, well, oh my gosh, that's close to 80 degrees. But honestly, with that AC blowing at 78, which I think it will keep things pretty cool since it's so hot outside, and you can put a fan near you, you shouldn't be too uncomfortable. It should be okay. Moving on through the day, around 5:30, it's still very warm across South Texas with those heat indices, probably around 102 Seguin, 103 Beeville, and it just takes a while to cool off. This is at 9 o'clock at night, still feeling like the mid-90s. So I know that's not very fun, but let's take a look at the actual temperatures. Because looking at those heat indices, you might think, my goodness, that is way too hot. But your actual high today, I would say, would stay in the mid to upper 90s. So we still have not hit the triple digits at the airport in Bexar County. That's a good thing. We've had a lot of rain so far this summer, and I think that those rain chances will return very soon. Maybe not as strong as they were before, but I think that just the fact that if we have a chance of rain, that's something that we like to see because you don't want it to stay dry for too long. 1 o'clock, looks like it'll be 91 for much of Bexar County, and the upper 80s down around Carrizo Springs, 87 in Del Rio. And let's move it till about 5 o'clock. Do you see how the precipitation toward the east, so this would be east of Gonzales, it's all around East Texas, so they're getting some decent showers. But again, it's just not really reaching us. That's why I said you might feel a sprinkle or two in our far eastern counties, but that rain is just staying to our east. This is coming up from the coast along 7 a.m. tomorrow, some showers there. And it doesn't really do a whole lot. It dries out pretty quick as we move throughout the day tomorrow. Now, I do think that tomorrow our rain chances might pick up slightly. Right now, I don't really see any going on, but I think by the time tomorrow rolls around, we could see maybe a 10 to 20% chance. So moving through Thursday, here's a look at Friday. Once again, you have some precipitation right around the coast, and it dries out pretty quickly. But Friday, I did put a 20% chance for showers. I can show you on our 7-day, because I think that that's going to be when the rain probably starts to pick back up. I would say late Thursday into Friday, if we do get any rain later on this week. Now, Saturday and Sunday, those rain chances stay, and even on Sunday, they pick up around 30%. So Saturday's 20% chance of showers, Sunday's 30%, and once you get around the 30% mark, that's pretty promising. That's like, okay, we might actually get a few showers. Again, today's high, 97. The heat index will make it feel possibly over 100 degrees. On Thursday, very similar to today. And then Friday, back in the upper 90s, 20% chance of showers, move in. Saturday and Sunday, we keep those rain showers pretty constant with them slightly increasing on Sunday. Monday, another 20%, temperatures dropping slightly to the low 90s. And then Tuesday, we're in the mid 90s, and yeah, we're right around 95 degrees. And Tuesday's pretty far out. We may have some rain chances that pick up by Tuesday too. So this is what it looks like right now. It is pretty warm out there, still pretty dry. We're gonna have the pollen count for you later. And your aquifer is still doing okay too. So even though it went down about 3/4 of a foot over the last 24 hours, we're still doing all right as far as our aquifer level. And then also the pollen count, hopefully mold will drop today because it's still pretty heavy. Okie doke, I'm gonna figure out how to punch y'all up. There you go. Okay, well, thanks so much for joining us. I hope you guys have a fantastic Wednesday. That's a quick look at your forecast. Bill Taylor will be in later today at 4, 5, 6, and 10. I'll have your forecast at noon. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and don't forget, it's an CPS Energy Conservation Day. All right, thanks, y'all.